I'm joined today by undefeated lightweight and two-time PFL Europe champion Jakub Kaszuba. And on August 1st, he returns to fight stateside for the first time in 2.5 years when he fights on the PFL Finals card in Atlantic City, New Jersey. They call him the Auditor, and he's here ahead of his bout with Sergio Cossio. Jakub, welcome to the show. How's it going today?
Thank you for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here. It's going great.
Awesome. So, about a week, almost 10 days away, basically, from the fight night against Sergio Cossio. How's camp been? The same old questions that everyone asks, but how's camp been this year?
Camp's been good. I mean, it was my first camp of this year because I just came off an injury and could not have gotten better. I'm rocking on all cylinders. I'm super ready and I'm excited to fight on this, stateside as well.
Awesome. 14-0, two-time PFL Europe champion. Like I said, looking back, what's been the most career-defining moment so far?
I mean, I guess, the two PFL championships and, not just the bouts themselves, but going through that tournament cycle and fighting, 6 times in 18 months, right? For me, that's the biggest accomplishment itself, is going out to each one of those fights and back to back. For me, that makes me a true champion in my eyes.
Those 2 years dominated PFL Europe. Most of the people probably don't know that you started your career in the U.S., though, in Florida, at Combat Night, a promotion that doesn't get enough respect. They built some great fighters, such as yourself. What has Combat Night that kind of did to prepare you for the next stage as well?
I mean, Combat Night was nice because they provided me, opponents from, all over the States and Florida especially. And, Florida is, in terms of MMA, it's, one of the best places in the world for competition, right? So they provide me with sweet opponents and let me fight locally too, which is nice, which is super important, right? To have the volume and fights locally and, not have to travel out of the state to compete or too far away.
And this time, you do have to travel. It's not across the giant ocean. We kind of talked beforehand about, layovers and all that. It's like a 2-hour flight, I think, from Tampa to or I'm assuming you're flying probably out of Tampa, if not Orlando, up to probably Philly and then going into Jersey.
Yeah, I'm actually flying out of Jacksonville Airport International, and then I'm flying to Philly, and then I got to, like an hour bus. So it's going to be probably, like a 4-hour journey, which is fucking sweet. Nice and chill.
Can't complain about that. I know we come down to Tampa a lot, and that 2-hour flight, you're on the plane, you're off the plane.
Yeah,
you don't get that going over to Europe at all. So
exactly.
Next up is Sergio Cossio. He's been around a lot of fighters, a bunch of down in the LUX Lux Fight League down in Mexico. The most experienced fighter that you have faced in your career. He has almost 40 fights himself. What's it like preparing for someone like him?
I mean, at this point, it's it's work. It's like getting ready for any other fight. It's more about my preparation and less about him and focusing on him. It's just knowing what I gotta do and training hard, recovering. It's I don't treat him any differently than I do any other opponent, right? So I'm just trying to be my best self and just perform.
And you kind of touched on the fact that you're starting your year a little late due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in this camp kind of stood out for recovering from the injury and getting back into the flow, or kind of same as business as usual?
I mean, I had to, the first, let's say, I could get on the mat at about 12 to 10 weeks out, I remember. So, it took me probably up until last week to be 100% comfortable with the mat, which is fine with me. But yeah, it's just the recovery process, rehabilitation, stretching, and pushing myself, so I can get comfortable and, break down that scar tissue, right? And yeah, this week it's I guess last week it was 100%, which was sweet, and this week it's going to be another 100%. So I'm back to full, firing full all my cylinders.
Awesome. And then kind of touched on, past 2 years, PFL Europe. You couldn't watch it in the U.S. unless you knew how to find it, is I think the best way to word it. Now it's PFL app. You would be on the app. The U.S. can watch it. So unless someone watched Combat Night, this is going to be their first intro to you on the U.S. side, outside of your friends, families, and those who have seen you down in Florida. you've won by knockout, you've won by submission, you've won by every means possible. What about like this fight or anything in particular stands out that you want the new audience to know about you?
I've been working out on my boxing and my explosion, my knockout powers. So I think I'm gonna, go out there and put on a banging show. It's gonna be sweet. I feel like my striking has really improved with this time that I had off, and same as my body, right? Because I fought 6 times in 18 months, so this break was very necessary. And now when I start back camp, I was very clear-headed. I could pick up new movements quicker than normal. I felt right. I wanted to train. It was pleasant to be in the gym. So, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm clear-headed, and I'm ready to perform,
Nice. And not to restate again, 2-time PFL Europe champion. When the international syndicates opened up, they said the champion would then move to the world tournament, or I guess now the world season. But you did 2 in Europe. Was there any reason like why you did a second year there, or
Yeah.
what held up?
So what they told me was in the second year, that's when they acquired Bellator. So they had a bunch of Bellator fighters. So they decided to put them in the tourney. And they still put a bunch of, I versed 2 Bellator veterans in my bracket, on my side of the bracket for PFL Europe. But yeah, it was just the acquisition of Bellator, having all those lightweights, and putting them in the tournament and giving them fights. So they decided not to put me in PFL Europe for that second year.
And now about 2.5 years into the whole Bellator acquisition, I think people thought overnight it was going to just make sense, as if they didn't just acquire a whole new roster as well. But now it kind of seems like PFL is now getting their ducks in a row. They kind of have a game plan. They have the world season now. They're expanding the international brackets as well. And I'm assuming eventually no one has said anything, but probably even more just like showcase cards as well, because the season's only a fraction of the year. With all that, and what you kind of just touched on, is like the world tournament something of plan for next year for you, or is it kind of just whatever they tell you?
It's whatever they tell me. My contract did not specify that I'll get to fight in the PFL tournament next year. They wanted me to fight this year, but the first fight was in May, first week or like second week of May. And that's literally when I started walking, when I took off my boot, because I wasn't walking for 3 months and I had 1 month in the boot. So the first fight of the tourney, which they wanted me to compete in, I was about, my first week walking. So without a boot. So, they wanted me to compete in the tournament this year, but unfortunately I couldn't. But for next year, I don't know. They put me in the tournament. Will I fight for Bellator or Bellator PFL series now, championship series? We'll see what they say, and I'll see what I want as well, right?
And kind of looping back, you go by the Auditor. It's one of the most unique nicknames in the sport, because when I hear Auditor, I hear IRS knocking on my door, and I don't want that. Where did the nickname come from, and what does it say about you and how you fight?
Well, I'm an auditor for the state of Florida, a CPA. So, we do financial statement audits of school boards and colleges and some state agencies. And yeah, by day, I go to work as an auditor, checking financials, or if these places obey state law, state statutes. And how does it? I mean, it's whatever I do it well. So I do my job well, and that same way I train and get ready for my opponent well, right? So I would say I'm just a student of life, and I guess I like doing a bunch of different things because I feel like it makes you better as a person, right? To be a sportsman and then in a way a student at the same time, or a blue white collar worker. And it's nice, it's easy to do white collar work and go train. I don't know how some of these guys do construction and then go fight and train. That's crazy to me. But yeah, I'm just I guess I'm analytical, and that's how I approach my fights, analytically.
It makes sense. My original degree was going to be in finance. I was going to be a CPA as well, and then I went into web development. So,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I actually had a finance teacher tell me not to go into it because he he stressed how annoying it could be at sometimes. And that was cool.
Like I did do an internship in the private sector, and I saw how much they work people and how you kind of live with work. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that, but I still have the degree. So I'm happy I found, the government sector where I get to live like a normal human being and still train,
Mm-hmm. And just looking a little bit ahead, August 1st, you make your return, your first fight of the year. Let's still call it a lightweight fight. You're coming in at it's a catch weight at 160. That's lightweight still. What do you think this does for your career? I mean, this is like I kind of said before, this is a nice intro to the U.S. audience. ESPN Plus, easily accessible. What do you think a win here actually does for you?
I really don't know. I'm just happy to get paid and get another fight and get a raise. What does it do for me? I mean, technically opens up more opportunities, right? But I guess it will be nice to see how popular I will get after this fight. And the more popular you are, the more you get paid, the more bigger fights you get. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna win. And I guess I can't really tell you because I fought after PFL Europe, winning it the first time. My life's gonna change. I'm gonna become this sort of known or celebrity, and I would get really big deals. But that didn't happen even after the second fight. So I really don't know. And whatever happens. I'm just happy that I get to compete, and I want to do another fight after this year. So I'm just happy I got fights. I can compete, but what it will do for me, I can't even guess. I don't know.
Awesome, man. I'm gonna wrap it up with just a bunch of like little quick questions. I hate the first one, especially right now with the fight a week away. Favorite post-fight cheat meal?
Oh, I usually like to go to Polish restaurants after I fight because I just love Polish food, and I'll get schabowy or pierogi, kiełbasa, and then some type of Polish cake. But I already looked for Atlantic City for Polish restaurants, and there isn't any. So I think I'm just gonna go probably some smash burger, double smash burger with French fries, and then some type of humongous ice cream dessert, sundae or something like that.
Really good spot. It's on the other side of the island. There's a sugar factory. You can get a milkshake this big.
Oh shit!
With like cakes and everything on it. It's again not to talk food this close to the fight day, but next question is the hardest hitter you faced in your career.
The hardest hitter. Well, probably Connor Hughes. I mean, he was the most accurate, right? So not even heavy, just accurate. I was injured for that fight, so I couldn't really move well. But he was probably the most accurate guy I faced. But the hardest hit I ever got was from John Mitchell because he front kicked me in the fucking face, man. I don't even remember the fight. I just remember coming to and there was lights and I won. But that second round and ending of the first, I don't recall anything.
And then one opponent you would love to test yourself against. It could be anyone in the 155, 170, whatever, any opponent at all. Who would you love to face if you had the opportunity?
I mean, I want like some type of Dagestani because I feel like those are probably all around the best fighters in the PFL at the moment. They got they're solid. So some type of Dagestani to check my wrestling, and they're good strikers too. So I don't really have any particular names, but yeah, anyone like that.
Awesome. And then the last lightning round, whatever you want to call this. Since you have a lot of finishing ability, what's more fun, submitting someone or knocking someone the fuck out?
I guess knocking someone the fuck out. I mean, both are cool because you finish before the before the buzzer, and the earlier you finish, you can go, finish a fight and not be beat up, and still enjoy life post fight because the 3-round decisions or 5-round decisions, when they go full distance and you wake up the next day, it's sometimes you're like, why the fuck do I fight, man?
Awesome. Then kind of said it before. We're about a week away. August 1st, Atlantic City, New Jersey, Boardwalk Hall. Historical Boardwalk Hall. I don't think it's going to be emphasized enough how historical that venue is. You are facing Sergio Cossio. I look forward to being there. I look forward to talking to you after the fight as well. Best of skill, and I look forward to seeing the fight in person. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.